It's Steve Evans. I'm the ND and founder of Net Natives. We're a student digital marketing agency, so we work with about 200 education institutions and we run social media and search campaigns to help them attract and recruit students. We're also a technology company, so we have developed technology that when we run these campaigns can capture and score those inquiries. So we can track where inquiries come from and then we can process those inquiries. So it was very interesting. So what we did for the presentation was we looked at from our insights team. So I should say in the company there's about 60 of us and the majority run advertising campaigns or do technology, but we have an insights division. And that insights team are Google Analytics and they look at trends across search and social behaviours. And we found a lot of commonality. A lot of people were I was looking at what are the behaviours for someone who's going to become an MBA student. And a lot of similarity. A lot of people are looking at courses. A lot of people are searching in a similar way across different territories, across the countries. We then looked at social media data and what are people talking about. And there's a lot of commonality on behaviours of people that are talking about different institutions and wanting to talk to each other and to their peers about what it's like to study in a location and what an institution is like. So there's a lot of, and what was very positive for the sector, is there's a lot of search, a lot of demand, and also there's a lot of people talking about this on social media. Well, fundamentally they still have to provide a service, they still have business objectives, and those business objectives are get their brand and attract and convert students. So just because the channels have changed, the fact that people are now looking and searching and that they're talking about things on social media, less using mainstream media than they were before, the objectives haven't changed from the business school's point of view. So the difference is then appreciating where people are, appreciating what they're doing and being there at that point. So we treat it as questions. Either a potential student is going to be posing a question on social media. That could be a search in Baidu in Mandarin. It could be a search on Google. But they're posing that question, so being there to answer that question. Or it's posing the questions before someone's even thought of asking it. Looking at what their social media profile is on LinkedIn, for example, or on Facebook, or what magazines they read online, and posing the question, did you know you could study this? And the whole difference should be around, particularly what business schools should be thinking about now, is creativity. How can we focus on benefits, not features, to make that cut through? And it's a really good question. What I wouldn't do is look at any barriers or policy or anything in the first instance. In order to do a research piece and to understand what's being said, there's no need for governance. It's just a need to do a research piece and insight to look at where are people talking about my institution and my courses and what are they saying. You don't need to implement a strategy to do that. You just need to do that. That'll be the very first thing. It may be you don't need to do a strategy on social media. It may be that no one is talking about you anywhere in social media. I highly doubt it, but the very first thing to do would be to listen before engaging and then come up with the strategy. They are talking about this. They are comparing us to these guys. This is what they want to find out about from finance and funding. Great, then let's create content in order to engage. That's when we worry about doing any governance or social media strategy. But the first part is to really look at the insights. And as hopefully I've demonstrated in the talk today, lots of people are talking about it. It's just identifying where and what they're saying. The things that the universities have to, the business schools and universities have to get right first is understanding when people are looking for them to be there then. So search strategies all actually should be more important. And if you think Google is celebrated its 15th birthday, that still is the next big thing. After that, and looking at the social media, which we've just discussed, but actually video, you're right, video, Facebook and LinkedIn, as I mentioned in my talk, both cite the Cisco study, which says by 2018, 70% of all internet consumption will be video. So having some form of video strategy, so the context of not necessarily needing landing pages in different languages because you've got a video to demonstrate worth and features, as well as, more importantly, the benefits, is so important as part of the strategy. I think the most important thing to look at before we're doing any, people use Google to search for stuff. They do it to search for MBAs. People use social media to talk about stuff. They do it to talk about MBAs. People use and look at video content. Now, we do that in our everyday life. We need to make sure that that's integrated into our marketing strategies. But most importantly is we need to use technology and techniques so that we're tracking what's working. So us as an agency, that's what we do. We blend all of those techniques together and then we put technology into it so we work out what's working so that nothing is lost within the budget. It's fantastic that there are so many decision makers in a room who are able to listen to what's being said and then go back and influence and make decisions that are going to be critical to their business. And I mean, I've just come out of the talk. I've had 6 people already coming up to me to say, that's great, now we're going to do A, B and C. And that's phenomenal. I don't think you get that at another conference. What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to a cheap Prague beer tonight, or maybe even a more expensive one later. For me personally, I set up Net Natives out of a bedroom 7 years ago, and we're now 60 strong and we're growing and we're trying to get a global footprint. In order for us to get a global footprint, we have to have global partners that are going to help take us on that journey and help facilitate the introductions. And AMBA is the perfect global partner for that, be able to pull in a global network of providers, and that does that, and gives us a platform to share our knowledge. Not sell, which hopefully we don't do, it's just share all of our research.